I want to ask you guys, can you guys type in the chat box? That's one technical issue I had earlier. Just want to make sure if you guys can use the chat box, because the setting maybe was wrong earlier. If you can, type it. If you can't, I guess, if you cannot use the chat box, you cannot type in it. But if some of you can type, let me know, send me a message. Yes, okay. Awesome, we're good to go, finally. All right, sorry for the delay, guys. Welcome to this meeting today. I'm very honored to have you guys show up on a Thursday. It's not so bad, right? It's a working day. So today I'm going to give you guys updates on Adwords 2018. Basically, something has changed a lot since 2017. I'm going to share with you guys what changes. So this is called Mastery Marketing Webinar. And first thing, some of you guys may never heard of me before. A lot of you are from my group, you know me, but some of you are not. So this will be the first time you get on a webinar with me. I want to quickly introduce myself. I have started in affiliate marketing since 2009, and I live in Toronto, Canada. So the best year I did was $3 million a year with the 0 employees. So I hesitate a little bit about putting the message here because I really don't like putting a number out or share a screen share or share a number, because in many times that's misleading. It doesn't really represent the whole picture of the business. So just to take this as a scorecard, you know, you're not listening to someone who hasn't done anything, all right? So you're listening to someone who has at least done something, you know, to a degree. Maybe there's something you can learn from him. So this is me. This was the time I was hanging out with the Playboy bunnies in Playboy Mansion. That was, I forgot which year it was. That was quite early in when Azugo was still around. So this was their top affiliates meetup. So it's a reward. We were invited to the mansion to have a good time. You know, it was good days. But anyhow, Azugo is no longer around. So let's let me give you a quick outline what you're going to learn today. So first thing, why I spend 1 or 2 hours, maybe at least half an hour every day, just to calm my mind, why it's important. And also I will show you my math formula, which proves how to succeed and how to succeed faster. This will be the first time you see this, I promise you. And nobody has ever talked about this because this is something I came up with for the affiliate marketing world. And also, I will reveal the harsh realities of CPA marketing and how to deal with it. So also I will share with you what I do every Friday, what I do on Friday, and what kind of changes it makes to my business week by week. Also, I will share with you what I do on Wednesdays, which helps grow my business. So I will also share the #1 AdWords challenge solution, how to open your accounts. I know a lot of people had this trouble, so I will share with you how to do that. And I will also show you how to warm up accounts. Then I will share with you how to scale up. So basically you have everything here. The most important one I know a lot of people love is how to get access to my money niches. Basically the niches I'm running right now. You can see my offers, you can see my landing pages, you can see my ads. So I will show you guys how to do that, okay? All right, there's a repeated message. Anyway, so I started the training. It's called a Massive Profit System. First one was in 2014. Massive Profit System was teaching about Facebook and affiliate marketing or CPA marketing. I ran that program for 3 years with ongoing training for my members. Then in 2015, I released a course called Social Arbitrage. That's the first one teaching people how to monetize Facebook traffic with the viral size. You can monetize with AdSense. So of course, at the end, I was, Google was withholding about $100,000 AdSense earnings. So from that point, I decided to cancel the program. And in 2017, that was last year, I released a program called AdWords Bootcamp. So that was the first time of teaching AdWords open to the public how to do CPA marketing on Google AdWords. So I'm going to give the structure of today's training. You know, how can you get the most of today's training? So you want to know the structure. So the structure, basically, I'm going to teach you two things. First is mindset. Second is skill set. Mindset and skill set are equally important. I think they're sometimes mindset even more important, because for a lot of people at some point, even though at the beginning they can make a lot of money, but after a certain point, if the software or the mindset is not right, they will hit a ceiling. They will have a lot of trouble. So that was my personal experience too. So I want to share with you my mindset and the skill set. So first one, I'm going to share with you the math formula is called probability formula. So this is the first equation, probably doesn't make sense. So P stands for probability, F stands for failure, S stands for success. So basically that you have, every time you do something, you have a 0.99 or 99% chance of fail. So you're going to fail 99% of the time, right? So that's the probability. And your ratio of success is only 1%. It's very low. That actually can apply to a lot of people when you first get started in the CPA marketing or affiliate marketing. So if you want to do a campaign, you know, probably 99% chance you're going to fail, only 1% chance you're going to make it. So what do we do about it? You can try 100 times and check the probability again. So if you do 100 times, even though your fail rate is still 99%, but after 100 times, your fail rate will be 36.6%. So what this means is your probability of succeeding one time out of the 100 is 1 minus 0.366 equals 63%. So what this means, if you do 100 times, if you try 100 times, one chance, I only need one time to succeed, one campaign to make me money, and that probability becomes 63%. So 63% is a big number. It's highly likely if you do 100 times, 63%, you're going to find a winner. Now you may be wondering, you know, one success, what's the big deal of it? So one success, if you have been running affiliate marketing, you know, one big winner can mean a big money. So you could recoup all your losses and you can make, you know, hundreds of $1,000s profit in a matter of a month. So one big winner is all you need actually in the affiliate marketing world. You don't need to have 10 winners in a row. You only need one winner, and you are going to, you know, claim success. All right. So we're going to do a little bit change to the formula. So as you keep trying, you keep, you know, making mistakes and you keep learning from it, you're going to get better and better, right? So now let's say your probability to fail becomes 90, drops to 90%, and your success rate will increase to 10%. So at this time, if you do 10 times, if you try 10 times, now you can see your failing probability becomes 34.86%. And in the meantime, that means you can find one winner out of 10, that probability becomes 65%. So similarly, if we do this, you know, over time, we become better and better, and we can succeed 33%. So our probability becomes 33%, but our fail rate becomes 67%. Now, if you do 3 times, only 3 times, you can see your fail rate will be 30%. That means your probability of succeeding 1 out of 3 will be 69%, which is super high. And I want to do one step further. You know, even though you are getting so good at this, right? You can succeed 33% of the time, but you don't want to try 3 times. You try 10 times. So if you try 10 times, that means, let's say I do 10 campaigns, my probability of finding one winner becomes 97.28%. So that's a huge number. It's almost a guarantee that I will be finding a winner if I try 10 times. So that's important to know this formula, because there are a few takeaways here The first one is the more you try, the more likely you will find winners, right? So it seems like old adage when you tell the kids, you have to keep trying, but why? Well, probability, that's the law, says if you keep trying, your chance of succeeding is going to increase. And over time, you don't have to try so many times and you're going to succeed. So that's why. Next time we talk to the kids, I think it's easier to explain to them with this formula. And also the takeaway is the better you are at something at each attempt, the faster you can find a winner. So that means every time you do a campaign, you should, if you fail, that's okay. You should sit down and try to find out what you can improve, what you can do better. Next time you can do better. So you make progress, you make yourself better. So that increase your chance, increase your probability of next time's success rate. So that will give you faster, make things happen faster for you. And this formula applies to anything in your business and life. You set up a business, you start campaigns, you start a new business, you learn new skill, anything. So if you, once you know this probability is the universal law, you look at everyday life, you can see it applies everywhere. So that's why you don't succeed or you don't expect to succeed at the first try. It just doesn't happen. So it's unreasonable to expect something to work like a gangster right off the gate. You have to be prepared. I'm going to fail 10 times. I'm going to fail 50 times, 100 times. So I know eventually, if I do this, it's guaranteed to happen that I will find a winner. So if you have this mentality, things will be a lot easier for you. Okay. Now, if you don't know this, probability is also casinos use this to design games of chance. Why you cannot win a casino? Why the casino always make money? Because they use this kind of probability to design the, whatever you play there, make sure they all eventually they will win. You can have a little wins, but you can never win, the casino. So that's why they actually hire big name scientists to do this. So that's why when you go to the casino, really, you're betting against the law. You're betting against the universal law. So you're not going to win no matter what you do. Okay. I hope I can share with you guys more information about this. And at one point I read somewhere, it says if Bill Gates go to a casino and try to bet, $1 billion, $2 billion, and the casino will not win at this time. Why? Because probability will not work in the casino's favor at this time. But if you go to the casino, even you bet $100,000, that doesn't matter because the casino, you can assume they have unlimited amount of cash. So you can never win that because probability will always make sure they win. Okay. I hope this clarifies a little bit, but I know it's confusing. If you are interested, go to Google, do a little bit search on probability for casinos. Okay. Now, the interesting thing is, even though we know the odds are against us, but people still go to casinos, they still buy lottery, and the winning rate is 1 in a million, all right? But when you try to start a business, when you try to start a campaign, you can do 63%. So that's a huge difference. If you don't know the numbers, you probably have no idea what you're doing. You don't feel it's wrong, right? But if you look at these numbers, it really doesn't make sense for you to buy a lottery, for you to go to the casino. It only makes sense for you to do campaigns, to start a business, because eventually you're going to win. All right. So again, if you guys feel this is something can be very important for your future campaigns to inspire yourself, feel free to make a screenshot. You print this out, because this is, I have this print out in my office. Every time when I feel a little bit discouraged, I look at this number. Yeah, I only try 10 times. Probably if I try another 10 times, I will have a winner. It's just the way this world works. All right. Does this make sense, guys? If you guys like this, give me a 1. This is called a probability formula. You can call whatever you want. Basically, this is how you're going to use it to manage your business, your life. Great. All right. So that's the mindset I talk about. And the first one mindset is the simple is the secret to success is to keep trying. It's very simple. There's no other secrets you need, just to keep trying. And so the other thing, next thing I want to share with you is what I learned from one-on-one coaching. I did one-on-one coaching in the last couple of years, working with a couple of students on private basis. It's amazing. I have a lot of really good friends. Become very good friends with them. But one time, I made a mistake. I agreed to take on a student who is brand new, who really didn't have much success under his belt. So I decided to coach him. I hope I can make a difference. But I made a mistake because like I said earlier, the mindset or the emotional control is super important for business, for our life. People, when they are under stress, because when you run campaigns, you're losing money. At this time, when people don't have the money, they will feel the stress, right? They will feel very stressful. When people are feeling stressful, they do things that's not so nice. So what happens is when I asked this student to do something, he was losing money. Then he lost his job. He had a daytime job. So he became very aggressive. Every time I teach him to do something, he just wanted something happen like magic. So he wanted to make money right away. So it's like, I'm paying you so much money to coach me. Why can't I make money right away? So that's the mentality, which is, it doesn't make much sense if we are from the third party's point of view. But when you're the person who are in that position, who are enduring some financial stress and also trying so hard to make things work, it's easy. But at this time, what I learned is your business is largely dependent on your skills to manage your emotions. Because of his aggressiveness, I decided to cancel the coach. I refunded him money. So I can't, teach you anymore, unfortunately, because you cannot manage your emotions. Actually, even for me personally, I have learned if you can manage your emotions well, that's very important for your interpersonal skills. And that's also very important for you to look at this world objectively. Many times we have two brains. It's not really two brains. It's two selves. One is controlled by our emotional brain. It's called amygdala, whatever it's called. The other is our neocortex, or our prefrontal part of our brain, which is a higher level. So because we are animals, right? We came from animals, and we have been relying on our emotional brain to control ourselves for millions of years. Because every time we see a danger, we immediately know that our emotional brain will send a signal to our body, so we can run. And every time we're under attack, we become angry. So that's the emotional brain. But now we human has developed a really advanced prefrontal part of our brain, which is used to look at things objectively. That's your second self. And you should, it's okay. Initially, you may feel, that because that bypasses our prefrontal brain. Every time something stress happens, it just goes straight to your emotional brain. So you feel the stress, you feel the anger, you feel the fear, you feel whatever, right? So that's okay. That's totally normal. But what you should realize immediately is you do not let it take control. Your higher self should take control all the time, because you should look at this, jump out of the situation immediately, look at things objectively. All right. Why am I feeling stressful? Why am I feeling the pressure? Why am I feeling unreasonable? Is it unreasonable to be this way? Is this the right, the most intelligent response I can do right now? Now, I don't know if you can resonate with me, but if you look at everyday life, you can see a lot of people. You can see some people, they could be 80 years old, but their behavior is still like a kid, right? And the scientists said a lot of people, maybe 90%, a majority of people, don't really grow their EQ after their teenager years. So that means if you are a good boy, you can manage your emotion nicely. By the time you're 14 years old, you're fine for the rest of your life. But if you have trouble to manage your emotions by the age of 14, and if you don't learn, or if you don't try to observe or be mindful of your own emotions, you're going to be stuck in that state for the rest of your life. So that's why it's not, it's quite a common to see some people, even 80 years old, they behave like a child, right? They become angry easily. They become, whatever, happy easily. So I'm pretty sure you can see people around you. So being mature, in my opinion, the number one is that the measurement is how good you can manage your emotions. Manage your emotions is very important for your business because we need to deal a lot of frustrations. So for me, I'm still facing frustrations, pains, disappointments, struggles every single day. If go back a few years, I would think, at one point, I may be able to, master a secret. I can master the traffic source. I don't have to feel any disappointment anymore. Every campaign I do, becomes a success. Everything I do, I touch becomes the goal. So, right. But it never happens, right? So until that, I read the book by Ray Dalio. If you never read the book, go get the book. It's a great book. Principles, right? Until I read the book, and in that book, even Ray Dalio, right? Ray Dalio, I don't know how much he's worth right now, and he's probably the top 10 of the richest people on the planet. He said even for him today, he still faces a lot of frustrations, right? Different stages, different frustrations, because that's how the world works. You don't expect to be free from these emotions. These emotions exist for a reason because they protect ourselves from problems, all right? But you do not want to be controlled by these emotions, right? And like I said, I'm still facing all the frustrations every day, but I do something about it. I spend up to 2 hours a day just to calm my mind because I want to put my mind into the alpha state. And a scientist, I keep saying scientists, you see, I read a lot of books, right? So scientists said, if you put your brainwave into the alpha state, you're going to be more creative and you're going to improve your problem solving skill. And you're going to be in a good mood and come up with a lot of creative solutions. So every time I get up, every day I get up, every morning, I will sit down for half an hour just to meditate. It's very simple to meditate. You just observe yourself, observe your breath, be mindful what you're thinking. If you really think, that's okay. If you don't think, keep your mind, try to keep your mind empty, right? Once I do that, finish that, actually that put my mind very stable, very calm for the rest of the day. Of course, if something happens in the middle of the day, I could lose the balance. That's okay. I'll sit down again and do the meditation again. I try to gain control of my emotions. I try to put myself into the best state of mind because what I'm dealing with is a little bit high pressure, right? When you're dealing with the Google, it's high pressure. You are worrying about you might lose the accounts, right? You might be losing money. So it does cause stress. It does cause pressure. That's okay. And when you want to take control of your mind, you meditate, or you just take a walk. You be mindful of what you're thinking. And you have to really observe yourself. Don't get lost in your emotional turbulence. All right, that's super important. And now you might be wondering, what exactly causing you all the frustrations, causing you all the problems, right? Causing you all the stress. And the problem many times is we have a expectation. We wish, we hope something is good, but that hope can be far away from the truth, from the reality. So I'm going to share with you the reality of CPA marketing. I hope once and for all, you don't have those, unrealistic wishes or unrealistic hopes, okay? So the reality of CPA marketing, the first one it is making quick money. In itself, that means it's not sustainable. Quick money equals not sustainable, okay? Losing accounts is part of the game. Get over it. You don't come to me. Sometimes really, I don't talk to anyone. Oh, today I lost the account. Today I lost the 2 accounts. Really get over it, because it's just a part of the game. It's like you brush your teeth. So once you accept that, things will become a lot easier, right? I know it doesn't feel good, right? You lost something, it doesn't feel good, but get over it. It's part of the game. It's very simple. And also you're making short-term cash. All right, you're not making building an asset which can produce long-term cash over and over. You're doing short-term thing. So you need to constantly look for new winning campaigns. If you don't do that, you will have a roller coaster style of income. You could lose your income overnight, right? And you will have a lot of emotional ups and downs goes with your income. Because if you have a good day, you might feel good. You're on top of the world. If something happens, if you lost one stream of income, if you lost one big Google AdWords account, you might feel really down, right? So that's part of the game. That's normal. I'm not saying you should not feel or you should not have emotional ups and downs. And what I'm saying, you should take control of that, okay? And also this industry, CPA industry, is filled with hype, right? Hype means promising something unrealistic. And also it's filled with low quality rehashed training, because I've seen it firsthand. I know some people, so-called guru, big name guru, keep doing rehashed information, not really doing the CPA marketing himself, okay? And because of the hype, because we believe, somebody is making $100,000 a day, we can make $100,000 a day, right? Because of the hype, and you set a goal, okay, I'm going to make $100,000 a day in the next 3 months. And that goal might be a fantasy, because you don't know, things have changed so much. The landscape has changed so much. So don't believe the hype. You really need to be realistic, okay? And also, some other dirty secret is you might be scrubbed 100%. It's normal, right? When you're dealing with the network, they could be scrubbing you 10%, 20%, 20% or 30%. It's not really a secret. A lot of people know this. But do you know some people, they scrub you 100% if you're brand new, if you're new affiliate? If you join the network in the first month, you're horrible, right? Your numbers are really looking disaster. So what happens here is not really your traffic, right? Your affiliate manager may be telling you, oh, things didn't work, try different things, right? But in reality, maybe they're scrubbing you 100%. So how do I know this? Well, I had a connection with a guy who is a programmer for a network. So that's the network asking him to code the platform. So that way, the network doesn't really care about long-term relationship, right? They don't care about how much money you can, every time you make money, they make money. They don't care so much. They just want to make some quick cash from the brand new affiliates, from people who are a little bit new to the game, who doesn't know so much about the business. So they scrub you 100%. That means all the money you made, they didn't really go back to you. It goes to their pockets. Now, if you think about it, even scrubbing 1% is annoying enough, right? Because we have to deal with Google AdWords, we have to deal with campaigns, optimization, a lot of headache. Now we have to deal with the scrubbing, and how crazy is that, right? But unfortunately, that's the reality. The other thing is only getting harder and harder to keep accounts with Google, with Facebook, and even native accounts now. All right. So you have to accept this, because this is the reality. And this business is not for the faint of heart. All right. If you get upset easily, if you lose hope easily, just because you lost one account, just because one campaign tanked or whatever, it's really not for you. All right. It's not for the faint of heart. I just painted the very honest, the very truthful reality of CPA marketing. Okay. Of course, I'm trying to discourage a lot of people. If you haven't done CPA before, if you think you're not ready, you really need to look at the list and think about it. Are you ready for this? Are you prepared for this? Okay. If you are, great. I'm happy. If you want to do something about it, because there has to be a reason you want to do it. And the first one will be the upside of CPA marketing is you can accomplish financial freedom doing it. Okay, and that's truth. That happens to me. That happens to a lot of people. You can really get a financial freedom. You have zero debts. You have probably $1 million sitting in the assets. So just doing CPA marketing, it can be achievable even today. Okay, you can accomplish the freedom without employees. Not a lot of people, even for me personally, especially for me personally, I don't like dealing with the employees. So that fits my lifestyle. I don't have to deal with the headache of payroll, everything. And so you don't have to worry about dealing with the customers. There could be a lot of customers who are angry, who are hoping to see things differently than what you can deliver. So you don't have to worry about all of that because the CPA vendors or the product owners have to deal with them. And also it provides, for me right now, this is the most important one, it provides the perfect opportunity to find out what's actually working right now in the market. So you can do CPA marketing, you can test different offers, and you can find out which one is actually working. Okay? Once you accepted the reality, you should never feel devastated when your accounts get suspended. Okay? I want to say this again. Once you accept the reality, it's okay. It's part of the game. You should never feel devastated. I should never really, for me, if right now losing one account, it's just like I wouldn't say it's like I couldn't care less. I would say something, okay, let's move on. Something like this. All right. So you should really never feel devastated, like your business is doomed. Everything is gone, right? And also, once you accept the reality, you should never feel scared to death when your campaigns are losing money, because that's the way it is. You have to first lose money to collect data so you can optimize. And many times, again, you could have a good idea, but when you put that idea into action, like testing the traffic, testing the market, it doesn't really like what you think. So you have to be prepared for that, prepared for losing money, at least for the first few tries. Okay, that's how it works. So it is okay, like I said earlier, it's okay to feel the pain. It's okay to feel frustration. It's okay to feel the emotional ups and downs. But at the same time, you should jump out. You should realize feeling the pain is healthy. It's a signal that it's time to make progress. What do I mean by that? So whenever the pain happens, you should reflect on it instead of avoiding it. I know a lot of people, like, you lost the account, right? You feel so frustrated. You just forget about it. You just move on. I don't care anymore, right? This doesn't work. So you just walk away from it without thinking why I lost the account. What did I do lead to the loss, right? What did I do? What change did I make? What could be the reason? You don't think about it. You don't make progress. But I think about this a lot. Every time I lost the account, I would sit down. I will actually write down on my notes what I did. Okay, I probably changed the targeting, probably added an IP address. I probably, I did tons of things that could screw up. And now I have a list of all the possibilities that could lead to account losses. Going forward, I just avoid these problems, right? I just avoid doing the things. So that increased my chance to keep my account for a long time. If you guys were in my Facebook group, you can see I showed you guys one account. I spent close to 80,000, I forgot how much, one account. And also I had account lasting for years. So because I know what the triggers are, what flags Google have, I just avoid them. I can, have a longer lasting accounts. That's so simple. If you don't think about it, if you just walk away from it, if you were taking over by emotions and quit, well, you would never figure this out. That's why it's important to realize the second mindset is pain plus reflection equals progress. All right, pain is okay. Pain is normal. We should feel pain, but you can make this a habit. Every time pain happens, you should really sit down and reflect on it and think about it. And there's so many things you can learn from it. And once you learn, you're making progress. That's the only way to progress. There's no other way, actually. Whatever you do, if you don't have the pain, like you go to the gym, right? You how can you make your muscle stronger? You have to feel the pain, right? You have to push yourself to the limit. It's really like a tear your muscle, and so your muscle can grow, because now you're sending a signal to the muscle. The muscle knows it has to grow to be able to handle the stress. So that's the only way to grow, to progress. The same thing applies to all the business. So this is second mindset or mentality is pain plus reflection equals progress. Actually, I borrowed this from Ray Dalio's book, The Principles. Okay, that's his principle. Now it's mine. I use this principle for my daily life. All right, so I want to share with you guys something I do on Friday. This is what I said, reflection. I do the reflection every Friday. I call it the strategy Friday. So basically, this means every Friday afternoon, I will spend a couple of hours to reflect on what I have learned this week. Okay, I reflect on a lot of things. Also, I try to design what I want my business, my life to be in a month, in a year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, 30 years. Well, you might be thinking, crazy, how can you design something like 30 years? Isn't that some just wishful thinking? Actually, at the beginning, I thought the same thing. But once I do this over and over, I know what I want to do, where I wanted to be in 5 years clearly. I can visualize that. And I know where I want to be in 10 years. Probably it's still far from me, like 30 years, but this is so different. If you want, give it a try. Try for a few weeks. You're going to feel the difference, because you have to keep thinking, keep visualizing. It doesn't happen at once, right? You give it a one-time try, it won't happen, okay? So what I will do next is I will make strategic adjustments for my next week's work. Okay, because what I'm going to do next week has to serve the long-term goal. I have a long-term goal here. I have to make sure what I do next week serves the purpose of my long-term goal. So I'm on the right track. Okay, this ritual alone brings clarity, big picture perspective to my business. I cannot stress enough how important this is to a lot of people. I know, like I said earlier, CPA is about short term. We make money in a short-term way. And that actually makes us very short-term thinker. We don't really think about what happens 3 months later, what happens 1 year later. But for me right now, if I promote something, I always think, what happens if this niche is gone, right? What happens 1 month later? I lost everything. What do I do? All right. So I have to come up with different strategies to make sure when such things happen, I am still having money, right? I still have money coming in. So I want to show you my notes here, because this is what I do every Friday. You can see I did the first session on March 23rd. Of course, I wrote down a few things. That's a little bit private information about my business, about my account, about my campaign. So I cannot show you the full information. And this is the more recent one, a little bit recent one, is on May 18th. You can see I did 9 sessions already, 9 weeks already. So I do this every Friday without fail. I want to share with you guys one of the strategy session. This is number 8. All right. So I want to read you quickly. So this week has been outstanding. It deserves more time to reflect on what happened. Monday, as I always expected, the day will come. 365 asked me to stop traffic, so the 15% guaranteed CR, $800 CPA deal is off. The PV is too low. Then me and Rachel try to figure out why. Rachel also checked the PV with the GF is only $200. I always had a blind confidence that my traffic quality is superior. My first reaction is must be Trackbox stole my leads and resold them. I can't say that's a bad thing, because blaming, even though now could be I could be blamed the wrong way. So I decided to switch traffic to another one. So immediately after the switch, my campaign began producing nice numbers. I've been struggling for 2 weeks with declining CR and climbing CPL. Now, coincidentally, I fixed the problem. So there are a few lessons I learned from this. Landing page speed and a one-step opt-in form kills conversions. Lesson 2, find a great programmer for landing pages. Lesson 3, always have multiple options. Lesson 4, why didn't I try this sooner? So this question you see, I yellow marked it. Why didn't I try this sooner? I should have experiment others when yours doesn't work. When one option doesn't work, I should always experiment others. Even less pay is worth it. So now I think about this, I made this a principle. I made this new rule for myself. I should always split testing. I should always, try different options before things going down. So that became my strategy going forward, my principle going forward. So it makes sure the same mistake won't happen again. Okay, so that's one example about having the big picture, thinking about reflecting on what you can do even on a daily basis. So I want to give you another example is my business strategy. I had this strategy for a long time, right? It's called stability plus growth. Earlier I said the CPA business is, ups and downs, is fluctuating. You are going to have a lot of ups and downs, but how do I deal with this? I should have a strategy called stability first. Stability means you can stabilize the business income. You have backup. When one goes down, doesn't matter because you have diversified enough, so it doesn't affect you so much, right? Also, you should grow the business because it's a short term. You should always grow it. So I had this strategy, but really, I didn't have a plan. I don't know how to do it exactly until at one of my Fridays, I realized I should do things in an actionable way. So that's what I did. First thing, to make about my business stable, excuse me, guys, I did one campaign. I call it a campaign. Of course, this campaign is not really your traffic campaign. So what I did is I set up something called one account a day for 30 days. So that means I set up one account promoting live traffic for 30 days a day for 30 days without fail. So what happened? I didn't do 30 days. I did 15 days or 16 days. By that time, I have too many accounts, too much traffic that I can handle. So I had to stop it. So I have 14 accounts probably, or maybe at least a dozen accounts to running all the black hat traffic, all the live traffic, sending me volume, and I cannot handle all of them. So that's the stability, because all of a sudden I did something. I force myself, I make it a ritual, make it a rule, make it something I do every day for the next 30 days. And then I solve the problem of stability. I stabilized my business big time. So if you can do something similar, if your challenge right now is not having enough accounts, you should do the same thing. If your challenge is not having enough campaigns running, you should do something, one campaign a day for 30 days. Okay, so see how things can change for you. And also my next strategy is growth, right? So how can I grow the business all the time, right? Make sure, I know I have campaigns running, I have business to take care of. I should also make sure I can grow it. How can I make sure it's actionable? It's something I do on a consistent basis, so I don't forget, or it doesn't get side roll, put away because something more emergency, more urgency, more urgent. I can't speak English now. So what I came up with Growth Wednesdays. So very similar to my Strategy Fridays, but this one is Growth Wednesdays. On this day, I will spend my whole day to test new markets, test new offers, test new traffic sources, to spy on other people, to spend time on to collect the market data, to collect as much information as I want. So I test new things on Wednesdays, and next Wednesday, I can see which one is panning out, which one is losing. So I can keep growing, keep having new winners popping up. I don't have to limit myself to one niche, to one market. I can keep expanding my business into different areas. And I do this on a weekly basis with my Growth Wednesdays strategy. So that's how I implement or execute my stability plus growth strategy. if I don't do the Friday reflections, I would never come up with such an idea. So that's one example I want to give to you, because if you think about the business from the top down, you look at the business, look at yourself, look at your business, look at the people you're dealing with, you are going to see the full picture. And if you look at the 3 months later, 1 year later, you're going to see the long-term picture as well. So keep doing this on a weekly basis at least. So you're going to do things a lot different, and which can grow the business and can change the business quite a lot. All right, does this make sense, guys? Do you like it? I know some people, if you join early before I restart the meeting, you may have a problem. You cannot type in the chat box. Only a few guys can type in the chat box, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay, so just by the way, a little productivity secret here I want to share with you. This is my productivity secret. So I use you can see I have the binder here. I have the paper, a marker, a pen. So that's all I need for the day. So what I do is every day I write down what I want to do, the most important tasks I have to complete today. I don't give it a timeline, like I have to do this 9 o'clock, unless it's something like if I have appointment at 9 o'clock, I will write it down or put it in the reminder. But I just write down what I need to do today, and when I finish, I cross it out or give it a tick. So that way, I don't have, I have a lot of flexibility. Okay, I know sometimes I just start blank. I don't write down what I need to do today, because many days what I do is just optimize the campaigns, right? So I write down what I did with this account and second account, etc., etc. So this way I can really keep good track of what I do on a daily basis. I can say this to you: I never feel I wasted a single day. All right, I never feel not productive enough, so I wasted one day. No, because you look at this pile of paper, the hundreds of pages of my notes. I did something. I made a progress on a daily basis. All right, I learned. I tested. I try different things. I know what's working, what doesn't work. So I made progress. I was getting better and better and better. So that's my notes. I do this on a daily basis. If you can do the same thing to your business, I promise you will find a difference. Okay, it's so simple. It's nothing else. I don't do this on electronic format. I don't do this on computer or on my cell phone, because it's very easy to get lost in the computer world. Okay, use the good old paper. All right, hold a pen and really write. A lot of people, even for me, I wrote in Chinese. It just so happened, many times that I forgot how to write a certain word. I don't know if this happens to English, maybe no, but for Chinese word, if you don't write it, you forget it. And over time, more and more words you will forget. So, but now I'm pretty sure I pick up a lot of words. Just keep writing, keep taking notes, and that's how you make progress, okay? That's the second part now we're going to get into. It's called skill set. So the skill set is easy to acquire. You can learn from others. When you learn a skill set from others, like today, I'm going to teach you something about Adwords. It's a big leverage here, because the information you take today takes me, many days, many months, even years of, trial and error. But you can learn it in 1 hour. So that's a big leverage here. So it's always important to learn from other people, okay? Don't really close yourself up. Learn from other people, okay? You can learn from yourself too, right? But the way to learn is keep doing things. You have to do. Once you know the knowledge, once you learn something, learn the tips, you have to go out and do it and verify it, try it, improve it. So the smarter way, you should do both, of course. The smarter way is learn from others and improve with your own experiments. So that's always how I like to learn. Of course, now, if you look at my notes, hundreds of pages of notes, it could be a little bit, never mind, I won't say this. Okay, all right, anyway, let's move on. So when you guys join the meeting, I'll ask you guys, what's your number one challenge you're facing with the Google AdWords? If you look at all the random marks, you can see about accounts, all right? So tons of people have problems with the Google accounts. If you have never run on Google before, you start brand new, you could be suspended. If you start, you heard from someone, you can start with a remote server, you log on to a remote server and register account and hope to start brand new, you will get suspended. If you run things a little bit, not so compliant, and you will get suspended. If you run everything good, now you want to spend more money, you're seeing profitable campaigns, you want to increase volume and having more money, and you will get suspended. So it's really a headache when you think about it to deal with Google. Google doesn't make things any easier for affiliates, for people like you and me. Even for people who want to run e-commerce, right? Who has probably had a black account with Google before, but they want to start fresh on e-commerce, but they can't, right? If you don't know how to do it, you will keep having the account problems. All right. So I'm going to solve this problem. Actually, the problem about accounting bans is 3 questions. First one is how to open new accounts. Second one is how to warm up new accounts. So you warm up properly, you don't lose the account at the beginning. Of course, first one, if you know how to open new accounts, you don't lose it automatically, because Google has a automated system. So if you do something not the right way, you will lose the account automatically. They don't even have to review your account, right? Now, the third one will be how to sustain accounts, because there are many things you could do wrong to lose the account. If you don't do the things, you will keep the account. It's that simple, okay? So how to open new accounts, I'm gonna share with you how to do that step by step. First one, you start with a new ISP IP address. This IP address is not your website IP, hosting IP, it's your ISP. ISP IP meaning the computer you use to access Google AdWords. Okay, this is your internet service provider. So that anyone like you're using to access the internet. So that's your IP address. So you need to have a start. You have the brand new one. So some people, if you restart the modem, you will get a new IP address. If you have a static IP, you probably want to start with a brand new, like getting a new service provider, getting another new ISP, okay? Or you can get your mobile phone. Your mobile phone IP changes all the time, but it's a brand new anyways. Once you have the new IP, you create a new admin user on your computer, or you get a new computer. Don't log onto anything related to your past Google accounts. All right, this certainly makes sense, right? It's common sense. Only for the new account, because this is this new user or new computer is for the new account. Okay, let me get a sip of water, guys. Now, this is one example. This is on my computer. I had this admin user, and this user is only for when I try to access some other accounts. I log to that user. I don't use my main user, you can see. So next, you need to get a new credit card, okay? New credit card maybe not enough. It's easy to get one credit card, but maybe difficult to get multiple credit cards. So I'm going to give you the secret here, as I promised in the live video on my group. You can check out Amex, American Express. If you're in the US, you're Canada, you can get an Amex card. Amex allows you to have 99 employee cards. So that means with one account, you can have 99 employee cards. It's very simple. You can get a new cell phone. You can use prepaid card, or you can just really walk into the shop and get another phone. You have to get a new hosting IP. So this IP is easier to get. You just apply or ask the hosting provider to give you a new IP. It's ideally to get an aged domain. That domain, if you just register the domain, it's not recommended to use it right away. You might want to let it sit for 3 months. If you want to start right now, you can go buy an auction site. You can buy from GoDaddy. They have auction sites. You can buy domains from them, which could be a few years old. Next step you want to do, you set up a simple local business website on this domain, okay? And register your account at adwords.google.com. You have everything ready. You just go to Google and register adwords.google.com. You set up first the campaign, set up a search campaign. It has to be 100% compliant. That's common sense, right? So you set your campaign budget at $50 to $100 a day. And your account will always go to a mandatory human review because it's a brand new account. It has no history. Google will put you into review to check your billing information, to check if you are someone who has been blacklisted from Google before. If you're not, it's easy to get a pass. So 90% chance you're going to pass. It's easy. And once you pass the review, you go back to your campaign, you create a new ad. You can now start promoting your CPA offer. At this time, of course, you should enable cloaking. So it's important to keep the same budget for a week. Only when you see limited by budget, only when you see this message can you increase, okay? So like I said, the first campaign you want to run for a week, and then even though during this week, within this week, you see the message, you don't do anything with it. You don't change the budget, okay? You run it for a week, then 1 week later, you increase the budget to less than 2 times the initial budget. So that means if your initial budget is $50 now, you change it to 90. If it's 100, you change it to 190. All right, so that's how you increase. If you don't see the message, I'm giving you a big tip here. If you don't see the message, that's not the mess. That's not, okay, never mind. What I want to say is earlier, if you don't see the message, you don't change the budget. If you change the budget, Google will review you because it's quite common for new people coming to Google and increase the budget too fast. Okay, with increased budget, Google knows something is unusual, so they will review your account and suspend you most likely. Okay, so if you don't see the message like my spending is not enough, that's very simple to fix. You just increase your CPC base, or you can broaden your geo target to get more spending going. Then now you have a higher budget. You still want to keep the budget for another week. So by this time, you should realize you cannot rush. With Google, you cannot rush because you are the one maybe trying to get things moving, try to get things rolling so you can make money. But Google doesn't care because Google has a system in place. They will flag you if you are rolling too fast, right? Because if you think about it, it's common sense, right? For anyone, any new coming to Google, and they want to spend $1,000 a day. Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense, right? People normally have to go through a optimization process. They will try a few things, lose money, spend more, lose money, pause campaign, spend more with a new campaign, lose money, pause campaign. So it's a normal process for 90% of the advertisers, right? So you have to behave that way. You cannot roll up too fast. So you keep the budget for another week. Now you can increase the budget again when you see the message limited by budgets. So at this time, you can increase. If you were 90, you can increase to 170. If you were 190, you can increase to 370. You might be wondering why less than $10 less than 2 times the budget. Well, this is me, right? I use this formula all the time. So this is safer for me. If I do it differently, it could be working. So you don't have to follow exactly like this, but just my formula, I like to do this way. Just the 2 times the budget less than $10. So Google know, oh, you are not increasing your budget by 100%. Less than 100% is fine. So that's my way of doing things. All right, so that's what I said earlier. If you don't see the message, make adjustments to hit the daily limit, okay? Repeat this until you can spend profitably to less than $2,000. I used to say you keep your account spending under 1,000, okay? But now, actually you can keep $2,000. Less than $2,000, I have done that. It's safe, so no problem. Of course, you have to grow it step by step, not too fast. All right. So this, once you have the account spending going, you have to be careful now. Right? You have to know what to do and what not to do. If you look at this, I have the notes. I have the notes on my project, private project on Basecamp. I write down these things frequently. I write down, if you look at this one, it says things could get your account suspended. And this one, don't change this too much. And this one, step by step to Black Hat campaign. And this one, Adwords account warm-up process. So you can see I really write down everything, write down what I've done, and I keep the list to myself. All right. I have everything I need to know so I don't repeat a mistake next time. There's one common mistake though, is people work on 1 or 2 or 3 accounts at a time, right? You don't want to do that way. You want to start with 5 to 10, even 20, 30 accounts simultaneously. And at the beginning, you will have a low success rate. That's okay. But over time, because you're getting better and better, you will be increase the account. You will be sustain account substantially. Okay. If you don't realize this is the probability formula in play. Okay. I don't want to try 1 time. I want to try 30 times. I want to try 30 accounts. You know, a lot of people, when they have 1 account, they lose the big picture, really lose the picture. What I mean by that, if this account goes down, they think the business is gone. There's nothing left, right? But if you start with the 30 accounts, you lose 1 account, doesn't really matter, right? So that's important for the big picture thinking, because you know, it's okay, I lose 1 account, I still have 29. If you lose 10, I still have 20, because that's the process you have to go through. If you just have 1 or 2, you just bet your life on it. If you lose it, I know it's frustrating, right? But that's the perspective. That's the big picture thinking you don't have, right? You really need to look down on how many accounts you can have. So if you have an army of accounts, you don't really care so much about 1 account that goes down, right? Now I want to talk about scaling AdWords. The easiest way to scale is across multiple AdWords accounts. You don't want to scale too much on 1 account, right? You want to keep a ceiling on how much you can spend per day. So you can break down by device, by geo, by placements, by keywords, by topics, even age, gender. So very easily now you can run campaigns onto multiple AdWords accounts, maybe dozens or even more. And you can run each profitable targeting on each account, so you're not competing against yourself, right? You don't want to run the same campaigns on 2 accounts. And you're thinking that's scaling. That's wrong. That's a big mistake, because you're competing against yourself. And it's very easy for you to realize, oh, now both of accounts are losing money. Because you're competing against yourself, you raise up the CPC cost, and also you are really burning the customer pool real fast, right? If you think about Google has so many users, so many visitors, why is it so easy to get a burn, right? Because you're competing against yourself, actually not just yourself, you're also competing against other people. When you're profitable running 1 campaign on 1 account, it has no guarantee you will have the same success running 2 on 2 accounts. I don't know if this makes sense. Basically means it's not scalable onto multiple accounts with this exact same setting. All right. So now, because you break down by all the different options, each one is profitable, very quickly you can run volume on dozens of accounts, right? Now you may be asking, how can I open 10, 20, 50 accounts at once so I can scale quick? Well, in 2017, I did this training AdWords bootcamp, and I cover a lot of stuff you have just learned today. So basically, first module, I talk about open accounts. All right, second module, I talked about warm-up accounts and keep them. Third module is finding winners. Of course, you have to be able to find a winner to run profitably on Google. I also talk about very important ones, angles. I always talk about angles, and I'm surprised at why a lot of people don't talk about it. Angles, funnels, data-driven optimization, that's the module 4. Module 5 is scaling. And also I shared the holy grail of Adwords. So in 2018, after I taught the course, a lot has changed. I have learned a lot of things. So the first one would be farmer accounts on steroids, dozens of accounts running black hat in 2 weeks, and you get unlimited phone numbers and credit cards. And also there are dozens of niches you can make money from, and you can use it to warm up your accounts. So you can keep your account for a really long time, from spending $10,000 per account. Now you can spend up to $80,000 and beyond, okay? So you can also protect your campaign with armor style cloaking. That's literally unbreakable. That means Google, even though they have different residential IPs, they won't see your black hat page, okay? So I also learned there are quite a few limitations on scaling, and also I figured out the solutions to these limitations. Now, in this year, I came up an upgraded version of Holy Grail 2.0 of Adwords. And also I learned quite a few about evergreen markets you should get into, and also how to protect yourself from legality issues, all right? When you are using celebrity, when you're promoting something against the regulations, if you expose yourself, right? Expose yourself, you don't protect yourself properly, you will receive not just the C&D letters, right? You'll probably get legal lawsuits. It's quite scary. You have to know how to protect yourself, and you have to really know how to protect yourself so good that nobody can find you, okay? So there's so much more I learned, so I decided to do a course called Adwords Bootcamp 2018 version, all right? And remember earlier I talked about this probability formula, and there's a 97% way chance you can succeed. And I will do one thing in my program. It's called a 33% probability campaigns, which I will share my campaigns. I tested on my Growth Wednesdays, because like I said earlier, I got into new market on Wednesdays, and I found winners, I found losers. Some of the winners, maybe it's breaking even, maybe has a potential. I'm going to share those with you. If you try 10 times, if you think about it, you have a 33% chance to win at every time. But if you try 10 times, 97%, you will find a winner. Okay, you have to seriously try them out. And this, remember earlier I told you about, is my notes. And I also want to do in the program is called share my notes. I will share my notes that I write on a daily basis. And I will also share what's changing, what's working, and what's new. Okay, all the things I'm testing, what new angles I'm using. So you get to learn the golden nuggets over my shoulder in real time, in a really intimate way. Basically, you see my daily progress. And if you just take that to your business, it's going to change a lot. Okay. Now I want to ask you guys, who wants to see my money-making offers, my ads, my landers, and my funnels? If you're interested, you're going to be very motivated to join the program, because I have a private deal section. Basically, this section is you will get access to what I'm running today, not yesterday's campaigns, and you will promote with me as my affiliate. And we both make good money from the day you set up the campaign live. Okay, so that's very easy, because you're learning from me. You're my affiliate. It's my duty to train you how to run successfully, so we both make money. All right. I also will be teaching mindset and others, traffic sources, and training. So I want to introduce you to my membership program. It's called Mastery Marketing Membership. Mastery is something you have to do on a daily basis to master something. It's an endless journey. You have to do this, day in and day out. So that's why I call it mastery. If you want to master the skill of marketing, join the program, because that's all these sections you can see. I said earlier, you're going to get access to Adwords Bootcamp 2017 and 2018. You're going to get instant access to Adwords 2017 and a weekly new updates from 2018, okay? You're going to get access to my 33 probability campaigns. Basically, you have a higher possibility to succeed with all these campaigns. You're going to get access to my notes. Okay. These notes I'm going to share, most likely on a daily basis. If you don't see on a daily basis, probably, every few days. At the minimum, every week, you will get updates of what's working and what progress am I making. And also because of your member, I will make you the candidate to join my private deals. So you can promote my offers as an affiliate. Okay. So now how much would this cost? So Adwords Bootcamp last year, I was selling $2,000. And with the 2018, I would say $1,000. So 33 probability campaigns, easily $1,000 because you can find a winner very quick. And also my side trainings, $1,000, and my private deals, $20,000 easy. Because if you ask me what you're promoting, can I see it? I am making at least a 20,000 profit every week from these campaigns. Why would I give it away, right? So that's the dollar value I'm lowballing, right? So $20,000 is a lowballing. So if you add this together, that's $25,000 in value, okay? And if you want to join me today, I am very happy to have you on board. The price will be $2,997, okay? You get a full access to everything. You see all the 4 modules, actually 5 modules. So you get access to my updated training and everything with one price. In the meantime, I know some people don't mind paying $2,000, $3,000 a year for a yearly course. And I know some people maybe have a hard time to come up with a large sum of cash. So for the first time ever, I'm going to do things a little bit different. I'm not going to ask you to pay $3,000 a day, okay? Not even $1,997. Not even $997. Not even $497. I'm playing a game here, guys. All right, you can get access to everything for $297 today, and you can keep your membership for $97 a month. So it's a membership program. You will get updates every week, every day, every month. So you will get to learn new things, and you keep progressing. So if you think about it, $97, is it a lot of money? It's really not. You are paying $97.99, I think, for your tracker. You're paying $90 for your hosting. You're paying whatever else you're paying. So probably you're paying a lot of money, doesn't produce your money, but you're now $97 a month, you're learning how to make money. So that's the most important. You have to invest in yourself to be able to learn how to make money. Okay. So you can see all the sections here again. So this is the Mastery Marketing Membership Program. And this is the best way I can think of to help you truly master CPA marketing. I know a lot of people, I want to learn, but I cannot afford $3,000. So today I give you this opportunity to join the program as a member. So I can keep giving you new tips, new strategies, and you can afford it and you can make progress. All right. So of course you will have a 30-day money back guarantee. You can cancel the membership at any time. No hard feelings. Just tell me, hey, I don't want to, continue using this. No problem. I will give you a refund. No problem. I will cancel the membership. The first 30 days, you'll get a refund and you can cancel anytime. If you're ready to order, go to mastery.marketing/webinar. I'm going to type the address in the chat box. Go to the link and you should see the order page. I will take some questions after finish this, guys. I see some questions there. I want to give you guys a demo of the memberships area. Bear with me. Let me share the screen. So if you join the program, you're going to see this right away. So this is the Adwords 2017 modules. these modules I've talked about earlier. You can see how to open new accounts as a module 1. And module 2, you can see how to warm up and cloak, right? So module 3, you can see how to do the market research and what to run. And module 4, you can see how to use angles, what kind of angles you can use, how you can analyze data, how you can optimize. And module 5, how you can scale. So this is the holy grail of the Adwords. I also have, I think, 3 big bonuses on this 2017 version. Now, once you join the program, you're going to see updates from the 2018 version. You can also see my notes, because the notes you can see, I will see, this is actually my daily upgrade. Okay, you can see do this to lose your account, and what kind of type of reviews there. You can see I actually made this note on April 7th. You can see automatic suspension, periodic human review, expedited human review, brand new account review. And sometimes when your account goes wrong, like this is a few days ago, actually this is yesterday or the day before. I think that's yesterday. So this account goes silent on me, and now I'm trying to figure out what happened here. So as you can see, this is what I do today. I also check my notes, and I see what I did on that day, and I did something different this time. So I will give updates what happened next. So when you see something, when your account goes into silent review and nothing happens, what do you do about it? So I'm trying to figure out a solution. So that's how you can see it's very intimate, watch my over shoulder. You can see what I'm doing every day, and you can learn from it. And for this one, you can see I did this on June the 4th. I figured out something about tablet traffic, right? And I could be doing something about it. So now I'm testing it. I could have been making good money, and if it works, you are the first one to know how you can do on tablet traffic. Also, you can see how to do the Google research, how to cloaking, all the different things. And 33% probability campaigns is the ones I will share with you. You should start running if you want to make money, and or if you want to warm up your accounts. Private deals is only available to some people who are qualified. That means if you're qualified, if you have at least 2 solid Google AdWords account running, you can reach out to me. Say, I want to run with you. No problem. I will be happy to take you on board. Now, all of this, guys, let me share the screen back. All of this, you can get access to for $297 today for the first 30 days and $97 every month. But I'm going to do something a little bit different just to spice up things. For the first 10 orders, you can get admitted to my private deals without conditions. Remember earlier, you have to match, you have to meet a certain conditions to be able to join my private deals. Of course, I cannot give it away to everybody. I cannot give it away to tire kickers. You have to prove yourself. I have accounts running. I know how to do things. I have, followed your instructions. I have followed your training. I'm ready. So at this time, I will open to you. But today, I want to do something different. Is for the first 10 orders, you will get admitted to my private deals without conditions. So that means you can get to see my ads, my offer, my niche, my landing pages, and you can run with me. So I will have this set up probably mid-June some point, and you will be the first one to know how to run it. Okay? I hope you guys enjoy the training. I hope to see you in the members area. If you guys have questions, ask me in the chat box. If you have problem with the chat box, add my Skype, okay? I know some people have the chat box setting. I set it wrong, my bad. So if you have other questions, you can always add my Skype as Top Sky CA. So I do have some questions here. Let me get to these questions first. John was asking, can you run the same campaign or a variation of the campaign across the 10 plus accounts? Yes, you can. You have to run a variation, basically have breakdowns on multiple accounts. Eric Jones was asking, I have been paying attention, but did I miss how you are managing them? One ISP IP, VPS after setup? Well, I think you're referring to how you get more IPs, right? So this is actually in the training of 2018 modules. The one I shared earlier is 2017. The way I do it things is a bit slow, but it still works. So 2018 module is based on top of 2017. So don't discount on 2017 because 2017 is still working. It's just a little bit slower. But if you have to start somehow, right? You just do what I told you today, okay? I'm going to stay on the meeting for a little bit while. If you guys have questions, ask me here, okay? Ray was asking, is the unlimited credit card method applicable to non-US people? I think yes, you have to try, of course. I haven't personally checked it, but if you call up your company, depends where you're from, like if from Singapore or somewhere, you call up Amex and see, because Amex offer this to business. So if you get a business credit card, they're going to allow you to have up to 99 employee cards. So you have to find out, depends on where you're from. Maybe it's difficult if you're from, I know if you're from some countries which maybe a little bit limited on credit cards, it's a little bit hard. But you still need to figure this out. Like you can borrow, you can buy credit cards from other people, paying them a fee. And I think at some point I can get into this, depending on how many people are from non-US or Canada. Gary, yes, the question I just answered is you have to check out with the credit card company first. If it doesn't work, I will try to cover that in the training. Sammy, you were asking, will that 99 cards have the same name and easy enough for Google to catch you? No, actually no. All the 99 cards is employee cards, which means you give them a name. You put whatever name you want on the cards. And so actually Google doesn't verify the card name with the billing address with the card. So really you can put whatever name you want. So it won't be an issue. There could be many small things you do lose your account. So as you can see earlier in my screenshot, I actually have them all, compiled. I have them all written down from my personal experience. What you should do, what you should avoid. So it's all in my notes. Also, this notes is updating. So that you can see on my screen here. So this is where I record my progress, where I record my experiments. So I also write down the notes on my paper. So if you join the program, you can see it's changing every day. It's changing on a daily basis. Sometimes something used to work, maybe stop working. You will get that on the notes area. Ray was asking, this Google Display Network or search? You will have both. I will cover both because both are different and both can be very profitable. And Google Display Network a little bit challenging. Google Search is very easy, but Google Display Network is more scalable, more volume available. Kevin was asking, will we be able to ask you questions if we have any doubts after buying this product? Absolutely, because that's what I'm here for. That's why I decided to do a membership website, because I want to interact with all my members on the continuous basis. So you get to ask me questions, and I give you, up-to-date updates. I hope, like I said, this is something I vision for my next 3 year, 5 year, I can do on a daily basis for my members. So let me be very transparent here. I'm being paid. If you join the program, I'm being paid to do the daily reflection, to do the progress. If you don't pay me, I'm still doing it, right? So if you pay me, some people pay me, of course, it's even better. Everybody wins. You are learning from what's working, at the moment. It's not something working yesterday. It's what's working today. Sammy was asking, verification or identity needed to be provided to Amex. We can just give them random 99 cards and they will provide it. Yes. Well, with Amex is quite interesting. You just call them. Actually, you can submit this online. Every time you can submit 20 cards, you enter the employee's name and their birthday. So that's all you need to give to them. So you can make up an employee's name and make up the birthday and submit. And with one submit, you can get 20 cards. Now, if you run traffic, some of the cards will get suspended. That's okay. You just call Amex and cancel the card. So you will never reach a point. Now I have not reached my 99 employee limit. You will never reach there because you will lose the account. You cancel them. Now you free up the quota, right? Now you can get more. So that's how it works with the Amex. If you are dealing with other banks, you will realize they can be a headache. They will ask you for the employee address, employee phone number, employee ID. They ask you for employee ID. With Amex, you don't have to worry about all of that. Uh, if you guys have questions, I'm going to keep the screen here. And also, I noticed I have something on Skype. If you have questions, you can either ask me on Skype or here. So I will keep the meeting running. So again, if you are sitting on the fence, you should know, like, if you are the first 10 members join the program, you will get access to my private deals without conditions. So I know some of you maybe have nothing running at the moment. Maybe you're having trouble getting things going. That's okay. I'm going to give you access to the private deals if you're the first 10. Okay. So the order URL doesn't work. Let me try to double check. I'm going to type the URL again. If the URL doesn't work, try refresh a few times. I know sometimes a little bit buggy. I'm trying the link. It works for me. So try refresh a few times. If it doesn't work, Skype. Goran, my Skype is top. Okay, let me write it down again. Top Sky CA. So that's my Skype. You can add my Skype. if you have, questions. If you guys have any other questions with regards to accounts or traffic, you can ask me here too. So I'm happy to answer them. If you guys, when you first joined the meeting, maybe my setting was wrong. If you couldn't see the chat box, you might want to add my Skype. My Skype is TOPSKYCA. So once you add my Skype, you can ask me questions. George, thank you very much for the order. I also see a Skype message. Thank you. Some of the information, if you are concerned, if this apply to your country, you will let me know in the members area. I do have sources which could cover different areas. Of course, but by default, I would be talking about major English countries like US, Canada, UK, Australia. So the strategy will apply to you. If it doesn't, just let me know. We will figure out how to solve the problem. That's how we learn anyways, right? Okay. Looks like we don't have questions. If you guys already add me on my Skype, I'm going to talk to you there. For here, I'm going to mute myself. Unless you have questions, you can ask me here. I will still keep the meeting for probably half an hour or maybe less, depends on how many people are here. So thank you guys for joining me today. Really pleasure, really great to be able to share some information with you. I hope you guys learned something. Anyways, stay in my group. I will also be sharing some information, once in a while. Talk to you soon. Have a good day.